Have you ever found yourself wondering if someone is with you for the right reasons? You're giving your all, but something just doesn't feel right. You think back to those moments where she's acted a bit distant, or maybe even overly demanding. I remember a friend who once shared his story about how he constantly felt like he was the only one putting in effort. He started feeling more like an option than a priority, questioning his worth in the relationship. If any of this resonates, you're not alone. Let's dive into some key signs that might show when someone isn't valuing you the way you deserve. Subtle signs. She's only interested in what you provide. Imagine you're giving your best to a relationship only to feel like something is off. Maybe you're always the one reaching out, planning things, or picking up the tab. While relationships are about mutual support, a one-sided effort can start to feel more like an obligation than a partnership. You may feel drained or unappreciated, and the signs of being used are often subtle but impactful. One of the biggest signs someone is only interested in what you provide is if their support for you is inconsistent or non-existent. They might only reach out when they need something, making the relationship transactional rather than meaningful. A true connection is built on consistent care and reciprocity, where both partners show up for each other beyond material needs. If the effort is always on your shoulders and they seem to disappear when you're the one in need, that's a major indicator. Another subtle sign is if she rarely shows interest in who you are as a person beyond what you can give. Do conversations revolve around her needs, her problems, or her wants? When you open up or share something personal, does she quickly change the topic or offer little to no response? This lack of emotional investment can show that she's more focused on getting what she wants than in understanding or supporting you. Time can also reveal intentions. If she's only interested in the big moments or occasions where there's something to gain, like gifts, trips, or special dinners, it could mean she values the perks more than your presence. True commitment should be felt in the small moments just as much as the grand ones. A partner who cares will appreciate your time and attention, not just the experiences or benefits you offer. Ultimately, it's about recognizing patterns. A genuine partner will find joy in the relationship itself and seek to uplift you, whereas someone only interested in what you provide will usually keep things shallow and centered around their needs. Trusting your intuition and evaluating these signs can help you determine if she's invested in you or in what you offer. Why you feel drained. Recognizing emotional manipulation. Have you ever walked away from a conversation or encounter with someone feeling exhausted, like they've taken a piece of your energy? Emotional manipulation can often be so subtle that you don't even realize it's happening until you're completely drained. Recognizing this manipulation is essential because it can impact not only your self-esteem, but also your overall mental health and happiness. One common form of emotional manipulation is guilt tripping. Manipulators often make you feel responsible for their happiness or problems, shifting blame subtly so that you start to question if you're doing enough. They may say things like, "I guess I'll just deal with it on my own," or "I thought you'd understand, but I guess I was wrong." Such statements can make you feel guilty for not fulfilling an impossible standard, effectively making you feel responsible for their emotions and outcomes. This strategy isn't just about what they're saying. It's about making you feel like you owe them something, constantly putting their needs above your own. Another tactic manipulators use is what's known as gaslighting. This occurs when someone makes you question your own reality or perceptions. They might say things like, "You're overreacting," or "I never said that." Even if you remember things differently, over time you may start to doubt your own memory, wondering if you're the problem. Gaslighting is particularly harmful because it erodes your confidence in your own judgment, leaving you feeling insecure and reliant on the manipulator for clarity. Emotional manipulators also tend to control through conditional love or approval. They give affection or praise only when you do something that benefits them. For example, they might only show appreciation when you make sacrifices or go out of your way for them, reinforcing the idea that you need to please them to feel valued. This can lead you to work harder for their approval, draining you emotionally as you try to live up to their expectations, which may constantly shift and become more demanding. Finally, emotional manipulators are skilled at playing the victim. No matter what the situation is, they tend to twist the story to make it seem like they're the one who has been wronged. This tactic pulls at your empathy, making you feel guilty and responsible for helping them, even if the situation wasn't your fault. It becomes a never-ending cycle where you're constantly trying to fix things for them, which can be exhausting and emotionally draining. Recognizing these manipulation tactics is the first step to reclaiming your energy. When you notice patterns of guilt, questioning your reality, conditional love, or victim playing, it's essential to set boundaries and prioritize your own mental well-being. Understanding emotional manipulation allows you to take control, freeing you from the cycle of feeling constantly drained by someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart. Is she genuinely interested or just using you? In relationships, genuine interest and emotional investment are essential for a deep, meaningful connection. However, it's sometimes hard to tell if the person you're with truly cares about you or is merely using you to meet their own needs. When a partner is only around for their benefit, the connection may feel empty, leaving you wondering if your efforts and feelings are being reciprocated. Knowing how to recognize the difference can save you from wasted time and emotional strain. One key indicator of genuine interest is consistency. When someone is truly interested, their engagement with you doesn't fluctuate based on convenience. They check in regularly, care about your well-being, and show up even when it's not advantageous for them. On the other hand, someone who's using you may only reach out when they need something or when it suits them. If her affection and presence seem to appear and disappear depending on what she can gain, it's a red flag that she may not be genuinely invested. Another way to discern true interest is by observing how much she tries to understand you on a deeper level. Does she ask about your life, your interests, your challenges, and your dreams? When someone cares, they'll show a real desire to know you as a person. They'll listen to your stories, remember the little things, and be genuinely invested in your happiness. Conversely, someone who's using you is less likely to focus on these things and may avoid discussing anything that doesn't directly benefit them. A person with genuine interest will also make sacrifices or compromises to support you. They'll put effort into finding a middle ground when disagreements arise, showing that they value the relationship enough to make adjustments. In contrast, someone who's using you may be unwilling to compromise and expect you to always meet their needs without offering much in return. They're more likely to take than to give, valuing their comfort over any sacrifices. Observing how she reacts when you're struggling or going through a tough time is another way to gauge her intentions. Someone who genuinely cares will offer support, even if it's inconvenient for them, and will stand by you in difficult situations. If she becomes distant or unsupportive when things aren't easy, it could suggest that she's only interested when things are going well. Relationships require commitment through all seasons, not just the sunny days, and her willingness to stand by you is a clear sign of her investment, or lack thereof. Ultimately, recognizing if she's genuinely interested or using you comes down to understanding her motivations and actions. Someone who is truly interested in you will prioritize the relationship and show that they're invested in your happiness, not just their own gain. Trust your instincts, observe her behavior, and remember that a healthy relationship is built on mutual care, not just convenience. Red flags you shouldn't ignore in a relationship. In any relationship, it's essential to be aware of certain behaviors that can indicate potential problems down the road. Red flags aren't just minor annoyances. They are warning signs that may hint at deeper issues, and ignoring them can lead to emotional distress, misunderstandings, and heartbreak. By recognizing these signs early, you can better protect yourself and evaluate whether the relationship is worth pursuing. One of the most significant red flags in any relationship is a lack of respect. Respect is foundational, and without it, a relationship can quickly become toxic. If your partner frequently criticizes, belittles, or disregards your opinions and feelings, it shows a lack of respect for who you are. This behavior often escalates over time, making you feel undervalued and eroding your self-esteem. True respect means listening, valuing your perspective, and treating you as an equal. If this is missing, it's a critical signal that the relationship may not be healthy. Another red flag is a lack of transparency and honesty. Relationships thrive on trust, and trust is impossible if your partner hides things or lies. This might start with small lies, like hiding past relationships or omitting details, but it can quickly grow into more severe deceptions. If you find that your partner is often secretive about their phone, where they're going, or who they're with, it's a strong indication that they may not be entirely committed. Transparency is key to a stable relationship, and without it, building a solid foundation becomes nearly impossible. Emotional manipulation is also a major red flag that shouldn't be overlooked. Manipulative behaviors can be subtle at first, but have long-lasting effects on your mental health. If your partner often makes you feel guilty for their actions, twists situations to make themselves the victim, or constantly downplays your emotions, they're likely trying to control the dynamic. Manipulation can leave you feeling constantly at fault or questioning your perspective, which erodes your confidence and sense of self. A relationship should uplift, not manipulate. And if this is occurring, it's a clear sign that boundaries need to be set or the relationship reconsidered. A lack of emotional support is another red flag to be mindful of. A healthy relationship involves mutual encouragement and support during difficult times. If your partner seems distant, dismissive, or uninterested when you share struggles or seek comfort, it indicates a lack of empathy. Emotional support isn't just about listening. It's about genuinely caring for each other's well-being. If your partner only shows up during the good times, but disappears when things get tough, it reflects an unwillingness to invest in a truly balanced partnership. Lastly, pay attention to any signs of controlling behavior. A partner who frequently demands to know where you are, who you're with, or tries to limit your interactions with others is exercising control over your independence. While a certain amount of interest in each other's lives is normal, constant monitoring, jealousy, or possessiveness are signals of a potentially abusive relationship. A healthy relationship allows freedom and trust, not restriction. Ignoring red flags only prolongs potential heartache. Recognizing these signs empowers you to set boundaries and make informed decisions about your relationship's future. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, honesty, empathy, and freedom. If these qualities are missing, it's essential to reconsider whether the relationship is truly beneficial for your well-being. How to tell when you're being taken for granted. Being taken for granted in a relationship can be one of the most painful and subtle experiences. It often starts small, with one partner unintentionally overlooking the other's efforts or kindness. However, over time, this lack of appreciation can grow, leaving the person who's giving so much feeling unvalued and invisible. Recognizing the signs that you're being taken for granted is essential for maintaining a healthy, balanced relationship and for preserving your own self-worth. One of the first signs of being taken for granted is a lack of acknowledgement for your efforts. When you're consistently going out of your way to do thoughtful things, yet receive little to no gratitude, it can signal that your partner has started expecting these acts as routine rather than appreciating them. For example, if you're constantly planning dates, helping with tasks, or being a source of support and rarely hearing a thank you, it might mean your efforts are going unnoticed. In a healthy relationship, both partners show appreciation for each other's efforts, understanding that these acts are expressions of love, not obligations. Another indication of being taken for granted is a one-sided dynamic where you find yourself always giving and rarely receiving. You might notice that you're the one who consistently initiates communication, makes sacrifices, or adjusts your plans to accommodate your partner. This imbalance can be draining and lead to feelings of resentment over time. A relationship is a two-way street, and when one person shoulders most of the effort, it can create emotional exhaustion and a sense of inequality. Furthermore, someone who takes you for granted may not make time for you or prioritize your relationship. They might only want to spend time with you when it's convenient for them or when they have no other plans. When you feel like a backup option rather than a priority, it's a clear signal that your value isn't being recognized. A partner who values you will actively make time for you and prioritize your relationship, not just fit you in as an afterthought. When your feelings and needs are frequently dismissed or minimized, it's another sign that you're being taken for granted. In a healthy relationship, both partners respect and consider each other's emotions and perspectives. If your partner often dismisses your concerns, saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal," it indicates a lack of empathy. Your emotions and needs deserve to be heard and validated, and if they aren't, the relationship may be lacking the foundation of mutual respect. Lastly, being taken for granted often involves a sense of predictability or complacency in the relationship. If your partner no longer puts in effort to surprise you, engage in meaningful conversations, or even express their feelings toward you, it could be because they assume you'll always be there, regardless of their actions. This complacency can be a sign that they've grown too comfortable and stopped valuing what you bring to the relationship. Keeping a relationship vibrant requires effort from both sides, and when one partner stops trying, it can make the other feel unimportant. Recognizing these signs is a vital step in addressing being taken for granted. Communication is essential, and expressing how you feel can often help your partner understand your perspective. If these patterns persist despite conversations, it may be necessary to evaluate whether the relationship is truly fulfilling for you. Remember, you deserve a relationship where you feel valued, appreciated, and respected for who you are and what you contribute. The silent signals of a one-sided relationship. A one-sided relationship can be incredibly draining and emotionally challenging, often leaving one partner feeling like they're carrying the entire emotional burden alone. In these relationships, one person typically invests significantly more time, energy, and effort, while the other seems indifferent or unresponsive. This imbalance can be subtle at first, often masked by the desire to make things work, but over time, the signs of a one-sided relationship become painfully clear. One of the first signals of a one-sided relationship is a lack of reciprocity in communication. If you're always the one initiating conversations, planning meetups, or reaching out first, it's an indication that the relationship's emotional balance may be skewed. In healthy relationships, both partners show a desire to connect, communicate, and share their lives with each other. When one person is consistently putting in all the effort to stay connected, it can feel isolating and discouraging, suggesting that the other person may not be as invested. Another clear sign of a one-sided relationship is the absence of emotional support. Relationships thrive when both partners provide comfort, empathy, and encouragement, particularly during challenging times. If you find that your partner is quick to seek your support, but is rarely there for you when you need them, it's a red flag. This dynamic can make you feel unappreciated and undervalued, as if your needs and struggles aren't as important. Emotional support is a core component of any healthy partnership, and its absence can indicate an unwillingness to fully commit. Time and prioritization are also critical factors in identifying a one-sided relationship. If your partner frequently cancels plans, avoids spending quality time together, or only engages when it's convenient for them, it signals a lack of investment. Being in a relationship means sharing time and prioritizing each other's company, not just when it's easy or when no better options are available. When one person regularly treats the relationship as secondary, it can lead to feelings of neglect and make the other partner question their worth. In a one-sided relationship, sacrifices and compromises are usually made by only one person. Healthy relationships require both partners to occasionally put the other person's needs ahead of their own. If you find yourself constantly adjusting your schedule, making sacrifices, or compromising without seeing any reciprocal effort, it may mean that your partner is not willing to invest equally. Relationships thrive on mutual give and take, and when only one person is giving, it's not sustainable in the long term. Lastly, in a one-sided relationship, you may notice a lack of genuine interest in your personal growth or achievements. A caring partner will celebrate your successes, support your goals, and show interest in your ambitions. If your partner dismisses your accomplishments, ignores your passions, or never expresses pride in who you are, it reflects a self-centered dynamic. Such behavior can stifle your growth, making you feel like your dreams and desires aren't important, which ultimately hinders the relationship's potential to grow. Recognizing these signs is essential to addressing the imbalance. Confronting a one-sided relationship can be difficult, but open communication about how you feel and what you need from the relationship is a crucial step. If these patterns persist despite your efforts to communicate, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship's health. Remember, a balanced relationship involves both partners contributing equally, supporting one another, and genuinely caring about each other's well-being. When her actions speak louder than her words. In relationships, actions often reveal the true intentions and feelings of a person more than words ever could. Words are easy to say, and people can often use them to create impressions or convey feelings they don't actually hold. However, actions tend to be more honest, showing someone's real priorities, values, and commitment. If you're in a relationship where her actions contradict her words, it's essential to pay attention to these non-verbal cues. They may reveal more about her feelings than her words ever will. One of the most telling signs is a lack of follow-through. If she frequently makes promises or commitments only to fail to keep them, it can indicate a lack of real investment. For example, she might say she'll be there for you during a difficult time, but is nowhere to be found when you need her most. This inconsistency between words and actions suggests that she may not prioritize the relationship as much as she claims. Real commitment is shown through consistent actions that match up with promises, proving that she is reliable and genuinely cares about your well-being. Another clear indicator is how she handles conflict. Words can easily mask true feelings, but during disagreements, her actions can reveal her level of respect and empathy. If she resorts to dismissive behavior, avoids communication, or even blames you for everything, it shows a lack of emotional maturity and unwillingness to work through issues together. A partner who truly values the relationship will address problems openly and show a willingness to compromise, demonstrating that she cares about maintaining harmony. Time and effort are other areas where actions speak volumes. When someone values you, they will put in the time and energy to nurture the relationship. If she repeatedly chooses other activities, friends, or responsibilities over spending time with you, it may indicate that you're not her priority. A partner's genuine interest is often reflected in the small everyday actions, texting to check in, remembering significant dates, or making plans to spend quality time together. If her words express interest, but her actions show a lack of effort, it's a sign that her commitment may not be as strong as she claims. Support during difficult times is another powerful action that speaks louder than words. Life comes with ups and downs, and relationships are strengthened by partners who support each other through both. If she claims to care deeply but becomes distant or unavailable when you're going through a challenging time, it may indicate that her affection is conditional. A partner who truly cares will stand by you during hardships, even if it's inconvenient or requires emotional investment. Lastly, observe her body language and tone when you're together. Nonverbal cues can reveal much about a person's feelings. Does she seem genuinely interested and attentive, or is she often distracted? Does she maintain eye contact, listen actively, and engage in meaningful conversations, or does she seem distant? When someone is genuinely invested, they'll show it not just through their words, but in how they physically engage with you. Body language can betray a lack of interest or reveal deeper feelings, often more accurately than spoken words. Ultimately, actions are a window into someone's true character and feelings. If her behavior consistently contradicts her words, it's worth considering whether her commitment is genuine. Paying attention to these signs can help you evaluate the relationship and decide if it's built on sincerity and mutual respect. Relationships flourish when both partners are aligned in words and actions, showing dedication, care, and genuine interest in each other. Thank you for watching. Relationships can be complex, and understanding the true intentions behind words and actions is essential for building a strong connection. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on honesty, mutual respect, and consistency between words and deeds. If you noticed any signs we discussed today, take a step back, reflect, and trust your instincts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that empowers you to create meaningful relationships. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic in the comments below.